Good morning. My name is Antonio Martínez. I work as official instructor for Stormshield in Spain. And in this presentation, I'm going to show you one use case of the Stormshield Academy program, specifically the one of Universidad de León in Spain around OT training. The CSNOT, Certified Stormshield Network Operational Technology, is one of the trainings in the official training catalog of Stormshield. It is a one-day training that focus on how to use the features of SNS in OT environments. For instance, it discussed the several deployment architectures like the transparent and the hybrid mode, the way the IPS operates, specifically going in depth in the deep protocol inspection of widely used industrial protocols such as Modbus TCP and OPC UA, how to use the security rules, and also two important features like the safety mode, the bypass feature, and the development of custom signatures to monitor specific actions in an industrial process. The Universidad de León signed the university agreement with Stormshield in 2019. The agreement was signed by Suppress Group. This Suppress Group is a group created by two departments, Department of Electrical Engineering and the Department of Systems and Automation of Universidad de León, with the participation of three faculties or three schools: the Industrial Engineering School, IT Engineering School, and Aerospace Engineering School. Thanks to the agreement, Universidad de León was able to benefit from both physical firewalls, Stormshield firewalls, SNI 40, ruggedized OT firewall, and also the virtual appliance, the EVA, Elastic Virtual Appliance, purchased under special discounts for members of the program. Excuse me. The teachers at the university were trained and certified, not only in the admin CSNA, which is prerequisite for the CSNOT, but also in the CSNE, the expert training. And the university benefit from the use of our firewalls for dual purpose. They use it in their classrooms for teaching students in an environment that replicates real OT processes, but they also use our firewalls in some research and investigation projects that the Universidad de León works in with several teachers participating in some projects. The domains of activity of the Grupo Suppress are industrial digitalization, supervision and control, industrial cybersecurity for critical infrastructures, teaching innovation in automation, participation in research and investigation projects, as I said before, and cooperation with private sector and public institutions. And we will see in the following, we will cover in the following slides how Universidad de León was able to benefit from this, from the Stormshield firewall in all these domains. So, for instance, the first one is the participation in some initiatives like this European Digital Innovation Hubs Network. This is an initiative of the European Union in order to promote the digitalization of European industry. As you can see, there are several hubs across Europe, all over Europe, and also in Spain, and Universidad de León is one of these hubs. Another example is the Schneider classroom. The Aula Ule Schneider, the Schneider Universidad de León classroom, is a technological classroom that was developed in cooperation with Schneider in 2017. And after the university signed the agreement with Stormshield, they also benefit from the Stormshield SNI 40 firewalls for the classroom. The capacity of this classroom is 10 students. As you can see, they have several racks where they have real life, both hardware and software, SCADAs, HMIs, PLCs, OT firewalls, of course. And they use this classroom for their official degrees and titles, for the grade in electronic engineering, in industry and automation, and also for two masters, Industry 4.0 master, and also they have another master for cybersecurity investigation. And the students of all these masters makes use of the classroom. Here you have a diagram of the classroom, and not only in the physical rack, they use a physical firewall, but also they use a virtual appliance for the inter-VLAN IT/OT segmentation. So they have a elastic virtual appliance where they protect all the access between all the different networks. Here you have a screenshot of the firewall of that manage all the inter-VLAN segmentation. And here you could see this firewall is also used to provide remote access to this classroom for students. Here you see the URL, and here you have a picture of the of how they use it. And I will show you a short video. I will try to go fast. This is the URL. So if you are interested, you could have a look. And they provide, of course, with authentication, they provide access to students to the remote access to the Snyder classroom. And here you could see how they have several modules. They have the control, supervision, and digitalization. I will go fast. So for instance, in this module, they have the control with the HMI. You see there is a blue button, motor parado means engine stopped. They have access also to the PLC and the process. And they could also show physically the different elements, and they could see also the control, the supervision module where they could monitor the speed in revolutions per minute and the frequency of the engine. And they could also provide a webcam where the student can zoom in to have a look at the different components of the rack, and they could also zoom in the engine. So for instance, if the student clicks on the engine and switch it on, he could see in the webcam that the engine has started, and they could see in the supervision module the speed in revolutions per minute and the frequency. So as you could see, they are using our firewalls, the Stormshield firewalls, as an example. And here I can give you three examples of three practical exercises or laboratories that the students are using are doing in this classroom. For instance, one of the examples is a cyber attack. The student managed a Word document that has a macro, and this macro, using a Python script, injects Modbus commands that are going through the firewall and that are interfering in the industrial process. So the student has to deploy OT protection policy in the OT firewall and make sure that they are able to effectively block this cyber attack, for instance. Another example is the creation of custom signatures. So they have to identify how the OT process works, which are the specific memory address in the PLC that are being used to manage the speed, for instance, and if the speed of the engine is set above, for instance, 3,000 revolutions per minute, which is considered harmful for the engine, the student has to create a custom signature to identify this action and block it. And finally, a third example is there are videos of the three there are demos of the three uses, but I will run out of time if I show all the three videos. But if you are interested later, you could we could provide some of this material. The third interesting practical example, is a man-in-the-middle attack. Thanks to this man-in-the-middle, the student is able to see that sometimes the information, in this case because of a man-in-the-middle attack by a hacker, the information that they see in the supervision module does not match the real life in the webcam. So for instance, in the supervision module, they could see the engine running normally, but in fact, if they look at the webcam, the engine was stopped by the man-in-the-middle attacker. Another example of the use of the OT firewalls is in this CIClab. This CIClab is Critical Infrastructure Cybersecurity Lab. It's a laboratory that the Universidad de León has created together with the Spanish CERT, Computer Emergency Response Team, in order to protect critical infrastructures. As you know, the NIS2 European directive has to be applied in all the different European countries to protect the critical infrastructures. This is the architecture of the lab, and they are also using physical appliances and also virtual appliances. For instance, here you could see the virtual appliance also for and the interfaces, all the different VLANs for all the inter-VLAN management. And finally, another example is the use of OT firewalls in some research and investigation projects. For instance, Universidad de León, with Next Generation EU funds, is working in a investigation project for the control systems of traction substations. The traction substations are the substations that provide energy to high-speed trains. So they are, and in this case, as you can see here, they use the IEC 61850 OT protocols for a smart grid, specifically, for instance, the MMS protocol. So they are using this OT protocol inspection in the OT firewalls. You see here, this is the EVA of the CIClab. And that's it. I hope you have enjoyed the presentation. And if you have more questions, there is a section later.